Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I just kind of wanted to play with makeup with you guys and do a quick get ready with me showing all of my favorite tried and true products. And this is really just my go-to everyday look. It's like slightly glam, but not really, like very easy for an every single day thing, but also fun because I just believe that makeup and beauty is all fun and I want to enjoy it. So without further ado, I'll get to the get ready with me so you can see everything I did to achieve this look. All right, so I'm starting with one of those spa headband things. I'll link this one down below. I really like to keep makeup out of my hair. Next, I've been taking the MAC Prep and Prime spray and just spritzing my face. It feels so refreshing and it smells so good. And then I just take a plain old, good old beauty blender. I love a beauty blender. It's so perfect for every step of this whole process. And I just kind of bounce it into my face and blend it in. Next, I always hydrate my lips during this process. I love the Laneige lip sleeping mask. It's meant for overnight, but I use it all throughout the day, especially while I'm doing my makeup. It just kind of creates a moisture barrier, keeps my lips from drying out, keeps them from getting all makeup-y and cakey with all these steps. And I hate dry lips, so that is a must for me. This is the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation. It is my tried and true holy grail favorite foundation. I love it so much. And I'm using the shade 6.5 Buttermilk. And I just kind of streak it on my face in like a tribal pattern and then use that beauty blender to bounce it into my skin. I find that is the dewiest way to apply it. I don't think I could ever put foundation on with a brush. I'd just be worried about getting like brush strokes. I love the way beauty blenders put foundation on. So I spend honestly an inordinate amount of time blending. If you get my beauty guide, you know it's like one of my hugest tips for beauty. I just think it's so key to just blend your makeup. All right, so next I'm on to concealer. Right now I'm using the sort of matching set concealer by Clinique in their Beyond Perfecting line. This is in shade Moderately Fair, number 12. And honestly, it's not a holy grail for me the way the foundation is. It just happens to be the concealer I have at the time. I kind of bounce around trying to find the perfect concealer, to be honest. So the way I apply this is I dot it onto my beauty blender and then I just bounce it into my face like foundation, but focusing on those areas that are like problem areas for me. So that's like under eye discoloration. You know, us women tend to get red noses and around that area. I have some old acne scars on my jawline, so those are kind of where I focus the concealer. Then next up, I like to seal it all in with a powder, but I don't like to look powdery, so it's kind of a catch-22. But this Veil Translucent Setting Powder by Hourglass is honestly such a game changer. I love it. I put it on with a huge fluffy brush. That's the It Cosmetics brush that you can get at Ulta, and it's called number 307 Velvet Luxe, and it truly feels velvety and luxe. I love this brush. I wouldn't put on like foundation or something with it, but I do like to kind of just buff on the powder really lightly. I don't bake or do anything like that. I don't like to look cakey or powdery. You know, I'm in my 30s. I don't want to have like a dry look. I want to have like a youthful, dewy look. So just enough to set my makeup. It makes my foundation last and last and last forever. So I love that stuff. Okay, next I'm on to contour, if you could call it that. I basically just use bronzer. This is the Hoola Benefit bronzer. I have it in the mini size, which I really like because it comes with that little mini brush, which I think is the perfect shape for kind of contouring, creating little lines. So I usually will just dab that around the perimeter of my face, under my cheekbones, down the side of my nose. I'll do a little bit under my lower lip, so I have like a pouty lower lip shadow. I'll do my chin, my jawline, and just kind of pack the color in with the brush it comes with. Then I take a blending brush. Honestly, I've had this one so long that it has rubbed off what it is, but I know it's from Sephora. And I don't think it's worth getting hung up too much on the specific brush. Like if you can find a contour shaped brush like this, it will totally work for you. And I like that angle for blending my contour, my bronzer in. So I just go ahead and kind of blur it into my foundation. Again, I'm so obsessed with blending. I think any harsh lines are such a dead giveaway with contours. Then next up, it might be slightly overkill, but I go in with another bronzer. It's Too Faced. It's their Chocolate Soleil. and this one is in medium, and it smells like chocolate, you guys. It's so good. I'm obviously way out of this, but I just love it so much. I'm sure I'll be repurchasing it. And so I use this just to bring more color into my face. I focus it on the perimeter, kind of where I just use the other bronzer to add a little depth, and it just warms my face up, especially right now when it's winter and I've been slacking on my self tanner. So this is just a way to get a little extra color and just feel a little more alive, have a little more dimension. And I just don't think you can go wrong with this bronzer. I love it. And the fact it smells like chocolate, like that's just a gift, am I right? So next, I like to do blush. I've been using this Tarte palette by Aspyn Ovard, and I apologize every time I mention this because I think it's kind of hard to get your hands on. So I really like the blush that comes in this. It's called Meiju Blush. I just really like this. I think it gives you a very nice natural flush, and I honestly go a little bit heavy with it because I always feel like blush is the first thing to kind of fade throughout the day. And this is just another angled brush. It's also by It Cosmetics, and it is the number 227 Flawless Blush Brush. Then I come back in with that big velvety brush that I love. Just with whatever powder is left on it, I like to do one more blend and make sure my blush and my bronzer and everything are just working together seamlessly. Moving on to my eyes. So first off, I'm going to take just a very neutral color. It's called Married Life in this palette. Also, the brush that I've been using is the Morphe M518. It's a really good fluffy blending eyeshadow brush, and put it all over my lid, all the way up to my brow bone. And I just feel like this kind of works as a primer almost for the rest of my eyeshadow to cling to, and it also gives sort of a neutral blending color that I can blend through. I have to say, another reason I love this particular palette is it also smells good. I don't know if it's like chocolate or what. It's just like a sweet, like anybody else who has this palette, tell me I'm not crazy. It smells so good. Next, I'm going to take a brush that has more of a rounded shape. This one happens to be from Sephora. It's called their medium shadow brush. I like this shape for packing color in. So I'm going to use it to pick up a couple colors out of this palette, Tea Time and High School Sweetheart. And those are just kind of softer browns that will help add dimension to my crease. So I'm going to pack them in place with this shape brush. And then I'm going to pick up one slightly darker color, Wanderlust, which is like a sparkly brown, and pack that in on the outer edge of my eyelid, again, just to bring some more dimension and depth into there. Then I don't use that brush for blending. I go back to my puffy, fluffy brush, and that works so much better for blending. So it's like one brush deposits the color and one brush blends it out. I'm sure this is not revolutionary, but I recently started this technique and it's helped me a lot. So maybe it'll help you too. Okay, so next I'm going to really pop some color on my eyelids using this Tarte Chrome paint. And I showed this, I purchased it in my Vegas vlog, and I just love it. I love a good gold eyeshadow, or any metallic just really pops. Every time you blink, people are kind of like, ooh. So this one's worked out really well for me. It's in the color Park Ave Princess. And again, I used that rounded brush to pack it into place. I actually wasn't very careful and I got some fallout while I was doing this. So definitely be careful how much product you have on the brush at a time, because otherwise it will just kind of fall everywhere. But again, I'm going to pack it into place and then use the fluffy brush to blend it all in. It's time for eyeliner, and I really like to do a bold lower lid eyeliner. So this is my favorite one for that. It's called Technakohl liner by MAC. For me, for my eye shape, I think for most people, it tends to be more flattering to put the eyeliner above the eyelash line instead of below it. So that's why I take my beauty blender and I just gently pull my lower lid down slightly and then pencil in above the eyelash so I can get on that waterline directly. I think it makes it really pop to have that bold. Then, since that is like a little bit dramatic, I kind of smudge it out, and I'll be using this smudge brush by Charlotte Tilbury. It's actually called the Eye Smudger. And I just take a little more of that Hoola Benefit bronzer and smudge, kind of smoke out my lower eyelid. I don't go too heavy with this because, again, like I'm in my 30s, I have some fine lines and I don't want them to look powdery. Next, I'm going to grab the highlighter out of this palette. It's called Pure Soul, and pop that on the inner corners of my eyes and my brow bone, just underneath the arch of the eyebrow. And that catches a really pretty glint whenever you turn your head. So next it's time for eyelashes, and the thing I like to do is brush them out first before I curl them so that they don't kind of curl into like a wonky shape. And I honestly just feel kind of fabulous when I use this long eyelash brush. It's almost like having a cigarette in a cigarette holder in the 1920s. I don't know why. Anyway, I don't know where it's from. I'm sorry. I'll try to link a similar one though. Then I use an eyelash curler, and this I am pretty devout about my Shiseido eyelash curler. I think it works so great. I honestly almost never skip this step. Then I bring in my lower lash mascara. This is by Clinique. It's just called their Bottom Lash Mascara. I have it in black, and I couldn't live without this stuff. It's a perfect tiny wand that can get into that tricky little lower lash area. I try to put it on as carefully as I can, but I still always have to come in with a Q-tip and kind of clean up afterward. It's just, I hate having those little transfer specks, and I love that this normally doesn't transfer, so I clean it up right away. And then I can finally move on to Too Faced Better Than Sex Mascara. I just am obsessed with this stuff. I've tried so many mascaras and nothing measures up for me. So apologies in advance if this is like a scary looking technique, but I like to really firmly put the brush into my lash line and then wiggle it and like blink against it so that there's a little bit of pressure against the eyelid onto the brush. And I find that really helps transfer the product onto the lashes, but the wiggling keeps it from clumping, which I will say this mascara is just miraculously clump proof anyway. I love how much it does not clump, but especially with the wiggling technique, it really helps. So I pack on, honestly, at least probably 3 layers, and then I'll just pause, take a Q-tip, and clean up any little flakes that come off, any places where I accidentally got it on my makeup or my skin. And it's surprisingly easy to just kind of pick those flakes up if you use a light hand and kind of twist the Q-tip so the fibers just sort of pick up those surface flakes that might be on your skin. And then this is weird, but I kind of like to pat my eyelashes into place and put them like, curl them up with my fingers as like a final step. And then I'm always feeling like I'm finally myself again once I have my mascara on. So then it's on to brows. This is actually not my holy grail brow product. This is the Anastasia Brow Definer in soft brown, and I don't really like that wide tip. I prefer the Benefit. This just happens to be what I have at the moment, so this is what I'm using. And I just pencil it in with a little hair-like strokes, and I try to just follow the natural shape of my eyebrows. I don't have a whole lot to work with in the eyebrow department, but I do want to make them a little more bold, so I just kind of follow their natural shape. And I'm of the school of thought that your eyebrows don't have to be perfectly symmetrical. They are sisters, not twins, and I think it looks a little weird when I really try to make them symmetrical, so I don't do that. I just follow each brow's natural inclination, and then I use the other end of the brow definer to brush it out, blend it out. And then it's time for a step that I honestly almost never ever skip. Even if I'd only have like 5 minutes to do my makeup, I will usually throw on a brow gel. So this one's by Hourglass. It's really nice. It's the Brow Volumizing Fiber Gel, and it is in the color Soft Brunette. And I like this because one side has longer bristles, which is more of a brush, and one has shorter bristles, which just really deposits the product. And I love how it kind of tames any wild hairs. It adds a little more color and definition, and the fibers in the product kind of buff up your eyebrows, especially since I just, I have slim pickings, so I got to work with this, and the fibers really help. And I feel like it just gives a more polished kind of overall look when you've got your brows more coiffed. Now I'm going to do just a tiny bit of highlighter using that Pure Soul color in the Tarte palette. I don't really go overboard with highlighter, but I do like to put just a little bit on my nose using my pinky and up onto my forehead in the center. And then I will blend it in with my beauty blender, as I do everything. In fact, I take every opportunity while I'm working just to go back over my whole face, make sure everything is blended for the millionth time, because I just really hate looking in the mirror at like 4 p.m. and seeing that I have a harsh line that was there all day. Okay, so now we're on to lips, and the first thing I'm going to do is line them. I've got this Charlotte Tilbury color that I love, which is, well, I think everybody loves it. It's the Pillow Talk. So I have it in the lip liner, which is, she calls it her lip cheat. And I actually don't cheat on my lips. I think it looks a little bit strange on me to go outside of the lines. I obviously don't have lip fillers or anything, so again, I'm just kind of working with what I got here. But I do like to use it for definition, so I just follow the natural line of my lips, and it's the perfect shade to just kind of complement and extend what I naturally have, so it's really pretty. And then I follow it up with the lipstick in the same shade. I like to match my lipstick and lip liner shade perfectly if I can. So this is the Pillow Talk lipstick. It's so pretty. It's a really flattering color on, I think, absolutely everyone. And it's also just an easy low maintenance color. Like, I'm just slapping it on there. You know, with a red lip or something, you have to be so precise. But with this, I just like slap it on there, smack my lips a couple times, and I'm good to go. But I am gonna top it with a gloss. So this is my favorite, as you know, it's from Glossier. It's just their clear lip gloss. It is so shiny and nice. I just love it. Give myself one last blend with the Beauty Blender because, you know, I'm hooked. I am absolutely hooked on the blend. And we're done. I just curled my hair, so it's extra bouncy for the moment. And if you're curious how I did that, I have a separate tutorial on it. I will link it in the description box below this video. But this is the finished makeup look. It's, I think, pretty wearable for every day, but it has a little pop of fun and color. So let me know if you enjoyed this. I would love to do more makeup videos. We could just kind of play with new products. I could do some drugstore makeup looks. I could do comparisons, drugstore to high-end. I think that all sounds extra fun, so let me know if you're down for that. Hit subscribe so you won't miss it. Sorry I'm playing with my hair. I just want to let these curls fall. And say hi in the comments. I love to chat with you guys, and thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.